Hello, good evening. It's News 360 coming to you live from the News Hub here at Adesa Wakanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And my name is Parkwisi Asari. Coming up in the next 60 minutes.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint
and Napa Foods. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Floods wreak havoc across the country with 4 dead in Ashanti region and hundreds of households displaced. We'll bring you reports from the Ashanti and the Western regions.
Also tonight, police officer killed in another bullion van robbery. We have details from the crime scene and a conversation on the growing attacks on police officers.
Later in the bulletin, trainee teachers want change in licensure exam timetable, but would it avert the mass failure?
In business news, finance experts want government to focus on value addition and job creation as the economy expands 4.2% in the first quarter.
And elsewhere on the international front, debris from the missing Titan sub found in the search site. We've got details of all these stories plus many more coming up in the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. You're welcome to join us with the views, comments and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Feel free to visit any of our social media pages on Facebook and on Twitter.
The news now in detail, and floods are wreaking havoc across the country, and the bad news is that forecasters say it will get worse. Heavy rains overnight on Wednesday in Accra, Kumasi and Takoradi have caused widespread damage with 4 deaths in the Ashanti region and hundreds displaced in the Western region. In the Greater Accra region, a mother and child were reported missing, and in several areas, roads have borne the brunt of the rains, causing hours of traffic.
Let's now get into the devastation caused by the flood waters across the country. And we begin from the Ashanti region, where 4 persons have been confirmed dead after they were swept away by flood waters in separate incidents. The lifeless bodies, including that of a 6-year-old, were retrieved after hours of search by officials of the fire service and the National Disaster Management Organization. My colleague Ibrahim Abubakar has the rest of the story.
So Wednesday's rains, which lasted for several hours, led to the flooding of some parts of Kumasi. Some people, unfortunately, lost their lives when they got drowned in the flood waters. Ashanti Regional Director of NADMU, Frank Dodu, has been explaining how the incident happened separately.
For the past 4 months, yesterday's rain was one which we did not had it well at all because we have 4 casualties. We have one at Tafo, where a 6-year-old boy, whilst it was raining, his ball got into the rain whilst he was going to pick it up. He was carried away. Then at Tafwa, a young boy, 47 years, also got there. Whilst people were waiting for the river to come down before they could cross, he decided that he would do that on his own. Carried his bike. Then by the time he realized, he was washed away together with the bike. And the third one was at Sepasi, the Siansi. There is a bridge there, which one also challenged use a motorbike to cross while the place has flooded. So we have 4 dead bodies out of yesterday's rain, 3, and this morning, what we did witness. but we've been able to get them all. The unfortunate thing is, all these things could have been avoided.
NADMO officials have also been raising concern about attitude of people which they say contribute to these floodings.
We'll be building in our wetlands, the bridges and the roads that we've constructed. The rains will find their way force and they will get destroyed. And always you will think, and like people say, the engineers did not do well. But they look at the stream, the strength of it before they construct the bridge. Bridge is not just being constructed that you go then you put it up. But those people that they are expect, that they've encroached the banks, that they know their activities is causing the flooding, will then come and say the engineers and contractors did not perform. That is not the case. Let us do our individual path. And at the end of the day, we will have the benefit of the rains that is coming for other activities. And at the end of the day, we have incident free because life is precious.
The public has been advised to be cautious as more rains are expected to come in the coming days. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Floods wreak havoc in the Ashanti region. In the western region, residents of Wasa Dominasi blamed illegal small-scale mining for their woes as hundreds of households were displaced in many communities across the region.
For residents of Wasa Dominasi, their worst fears had happened. Several warnings to the Mpoho District Authority to deal with alleged Chinese illegal miners who had blocked parts of the Butre River which runs through the town had been ignored. Residents are now counting their losses following the floods.
Yesterday's downpour has destroyed our town. Both the old and new markets are flooded. It destroyed our foodstuff and our belongings. We plead with NADMO to come to our aid.
I was asleep and I was called to come for my items. My fridge and other belongings are destroyed. The flood is as a result of the Calamity.
Parts of the Hunter West district of the western region were equally affected. The road leading to Princess Town at Abiasi to Mentu is now caving in. At Ewusejo, residents had to come out of their homes to seek for shelter in a few structures on highlands spared by the overflowing Butre River. Many shops had been washed away with their wares. This is a chips compound at Hotopo. The assembly member for the Ewusejo electoral area, John Odum, says the level of flood was unprecedented and attributes the situation to Galamsey activities in the Mpoho and Benso areas where River Butre takes its source.
I
have lived here for 47 years. This has never happened. The flood is as a result of the Galamsey activities.
A reminder, you're still watching News 360, our major news bulletin for the day. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. Now, teacher trainees have urged the National Teaching Council and stakeholders to conduct the licensure exams on time or include them in final year exams. This, they argue, will reduce failures as students often stay home for 2 years after completing school before taking the exams. Here's a report by my colleague Evelyn Tingma.
In May this year, a total of 7,728 teachers sat for the Ghana Teacher Licensure Examination. Out of the number, 6,451 failed. This is not the first time there have been massive failures by candidates who sat for the teacher licensure exams. In 2022, 44,000 out of the 120,000 who sat for the exams failed. There will be another exams this year. And we are here at the Accra College of Education, and we want to find out from some of the final year students if they are well prepared for the exam and if there is any hope considering the consistent massive failures.
One or two materials that we've been able to get, that's what some of us are relying on, and some don't have those opportunity to get those access to some of the books. It's just some few past questions that some of us are relying on.
Some of the teacher trainees have in the past years been resitting the exam, but to no avail. Some students raised concerns that could account for the failures.
Right after school, I may have a family, I may get married, get pregnant, children comes in, there's work, and a whole lot. I wouldn't get time to learn. And even here is the situation, there are no available materials everywhere that I can easily access to learn and then prepare for these exams. It's something I have to do on my own.
Let's say I'm specializing in social studies. Somebody says specializing in economics, as an economics teacher. And then you come and assess me on mathematics, that I should use this as my licensure test. And I failed. I haven't failed.
They suggested the National Teaching Council either include the exam in their final year exams or conduct it early enough.
They should add the licensure examination to our final exams. It shouldn't be that we will complete and go and sit in the house for about close to 2 years before we come and write. Because when the moment you complete school, different agenda.
If possible, I would recommend or suggest that it should be embedded in our 4-year study, so that at the end of my 4 years here, I go together with my certificate and my license as a professional teacher.
Meanwhile, the principal of the Accra College of Education and president of the Principals of Colleges of Education, PRINCOF, Professor Dr. Samuel Atintono, has said most of the failures are not from the 46 colleges of education.
We have about 95% pass rate. Those who pass through the colleges. That's the regular students. And that's because we are running what we call a common curriculum. That's the National Teacher Education Curriculum. Those students happens to be some distance education students. They are mostly from the universities. You have UCC, you have UW, you have KNUST. I think University of Ghana also do some distance.
He said parents and other stakeholders should not be worried as the curriculum they run prepares the students well for the classroom.
We cannot just push every teacher to the classroom. You ought to get things right, and until you get what it takes to be a teacher, you cannot go to the classroom.
Be it as it may, General Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, Thomas Musa, has called for a national dialogue to address the mass failure.
Because we want to get it right, we need to look at all the things that happened within the process, and that will help us understand the issues.
Executive Director of the Institute for Education Studies, Peter Pate Ante, says the teaching profession is an important one and needs qualified persons.
I don't think we should leave them to their fate just like that. The NTC should liaise with the teacher training institutions to organize some kind of professional support system for these teachers.
Evelyn Tinkma, TV3 News, Accra.
Meanwhile, the National Association of Graduate Teachers and the Coalition of Concerned Teachers have also been reacting to the poor licensure exam results.
So if certain charlatans found their way into the examination platform and wrote an exam, and we have not done proper investigation to ascertain who they are, whether they went to a training institution, whether they have passed through the training institution from first year to third year, and they come to write an exam and they could not express themselves. It is very unfortunate and wrong for people to conclude that these people are teachers.
And you refer to them as charlatans?
Yes, it's only a charlatan who will not go through school and will want to catapult himself in writing an exam that he is not qualified for.
It's good that the exam is strengthened so that it will continue to sieve out the educational graduates to make sure the best goes to the class. However, NTC, it should be the first and last that NTC will pick the answer script of people and share it on social media. They can be sued for defamation. I am not involved, but if I was involved and I see my answer script, though my name on it is not on it, my numbers are on it, the center where I wrote it, everything is on it, I can sue.
The government is calling for investigations into this.
We are so excited because the documents that we have are genuine,
And so when they call for investigation, we will bring this. And I think as a nation, it's going to open a new page of dialogue. At the end of it all, maybe as a nation, we will build consensus on how licensure should be done in such a way that we will be able to recruit the appropriate teachers needed in our classrooms and not charlatans who want to join the profession who do not know anything.
Elsewhere, pensioner bondholders continue to fight for their hard-earned money, resuming picketing at the Finance Ministry to address 6 outstanding unpaid coupons. Judith Awachitando reports.
The message for the diaspora: don't come. They won't give you your money. They'll bring you here and chop your money. Don't come to Ghana.
Tensions are hiding here at the Finance Ministry as pensioner bondholders have resumed picketing here. Their deal is based on one thing: the non-payment of 6 outstanding coupons, which is getting them more and more frustrated.
I have quite a few dependents. One of them has a chronic kidney disease stage 3. We can't even afford to go and do a lab test for her. We can't buy medication. She has other medical complications. We can't buy her medication. One of the medications has jumped from 400 cedis to 800 cedis. We can't buy it anymore. The other one has a very high blood pressure. If she doesn't get her medication, she'll have a stroke and end up most likely in hospital. And that will be another problem on top of another problem.
Christopher, Fabia's son, has joined his mother from the UK to demand what is due them. According to him, the investment in government bonds are proceeds from the sale of family property.
I followed my mum here because she's spent the last 15 years working hard, asking me to send her money from the UK, living without food and things, struggling to earn money to win our family properties back. We managed to win our family properties back. She sold the property, and then we said, right, we'll invest this money so we can help all of our family and those in our wider community. She did that, and she invested it into these government bonds. Now, these government bonds have been removed from her. She's not getting any of her coupons anymore, and it's a stress. She's having nightmares. She's just not the same person as she was before.
Well, you would recall that the pensioners had earlier threatened to send the Ministry of Finance to Shraj in case they do not heed to their calls. Well, their convener, Dr. Edouanani Intri, has been given updates on that.
Government say it's difficult to pay. Nevertheless, we say we will write you a letter of demand. Let us have your response. And if we get your response and you still say you are not going to pay, we will take it as not treating your citizens fair. We are taking it as an administrative justice matter. And therefore, we will submit the matter to Shrag. So we are waiting for the response from government, and then we take that further action.
Judith Chitando, TV3 News, Ministry of Finance, Accra.
We want our money! We want our money!
In more news tonight, caterers of the school feeding program have called off their strike following agreements reached with government. The caterers have been asked to return to schools upon reopening next month.
Caterers under the school feeding program have been on strike since the beginning of the second term of the 2023 academic year 4 months ago. They have been demanding payment of their arrears, which dates as far back as 3 years, and also an increment in the 90 pesos feeding cost per pupil to 3 cedis. The caterers say their engagement with government has yielded fruitful outcomes and have called off their strike. President of the association, Charlotte Ashaki Asante, however, adds they will keep pressing for a 3 cedis increment in government's 1 cedi 20 pesos proposal. Well, children who depend on this intervention can look forward to enjoying their meals when school resumes. Grace Hamwa Ajaman, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, Fidelity Bank Ghana has handed over a 6-unit classroom block to the Dorso community in the Wild West district of the Upper West region. The project is part of the bank's Orange Impact initiative undertaken in 15 marginalized communities across the country.
The fully furnished classroom block is part of the bank's flagship project. In addition, the bank provided the community with a 5-kilowatt solar installation to supply the school with electricity. The bank is also renovating the dilapidated kindergarten block.
We are an integral part of the ecosystem that drives development. The challenges of the community in which you operate should be reflected in the way you operate. If the community develops, the bank develops. Fidelity is an indigenous Ghanaian bank primarily, and therefore the things that matter to Ghanaians matter to us. And if we don't create a positive impact around the foundational elements of developing any nation, then we also do not grow. We have indicated that we really support on our CSR side education, health, economic empowerment, and also we look at the environmental awareness. And we strongly support the Sustainable Development Goals. Primarily, these are aligned to SDG 3, 4, 8, 9, and 13.
The Wahoo West District Director of Education, Amatus Tugu, was delighted over the intervention.
The District Education Directorate is excited about this thank you edifice and pledge to support the school with the needed and available staff and logistics for effective learning to take place.
The head teacher of the Dosi DA Basic, Abubakar Mubarak, bemoaned the impact of infrastructure deficit in the area and called for support.
Mana Mobility has rebranded its electric bike line as Wahoo. The Ghanaian German electric mobility provider promotes sustainable transportation and clean, environmentally friendly options in urban areas.
Mana Mobility's Wahoo electric bikes tackle traditional transportation challenges in Ghana by combining advanced technology with locally sourced components. These tailored products cater to individual needs and preferences, contributing to a greener future.
Compared to other bikes that are on the market, we are the only and we're the first company to design bikes for Ghana and for Africa. So even if you went and bought e-bikes off Amazon and you brought them on our roads, they probably won't survive in our markets.
Wahoo electric bikes significantly reduce carbon emissions, contributing to Ghana's natural resource preservation.
The electric bike actually comes with 2 batteries that gives it a very long range. So you don't need to buy petrol, but you can ride for 140 kilometers without having to charge, which means our delivery riders, they charge at home like you would your phone or your laptop. They come from home, they do deliveries all day, and they get back home without having to use any complicated charging infrastructure.
To celebrate the launch of Wahoo electric bikes, Mana Mobility is introducing a competitive ride-to-own scheme which allows riders to utilize the Wahoo e-bike for delivery services while making weekly payments over 18 or 24 months. Additionally, each bike comes with comprehensive insurance coverage for the bike and personal accident protection for the rider.
I'm going to grab one for myself pretty soon. You're still watching News 360. Let's go to Parliament now. And the Speaker, Alban Sumana Bagbin, has criticized the imposition of taxes on sanitary pads, suggesting a review of the next budget to make the product more affordable for women and girls. He was addressing members of the House after receiving a petition calling for the tax removal.
Why should we pass a law imposing tax on sanitary pads? This is unconscionable. It's a cardinal sin. The House shouldn't have allowed it at all. This House shouldn't have allowed it. You know the impact of that law on the human resource development and on the development of this country. It's immeasurable. That is why I suspended sitting and had to attend to them. I have a copy of the petition, and we have to take immediate action to prevent whoever is the minister proposing that thing to take it off. The next budget, it must not appear, it cannot be a tax. Please, I take a very serious view on this matter. It was even raised at a forum in Tamale. Why? This Parliament have imposed some restrictions on itself. If you look at the concept in our democracy, the option that we've chosen, which is captured in our constitution, the executive is not powerful, more powerful than Parliament. It's not. Read it properly. But this is self-imposed. We have just handed over all our powers to exactly what the Supreme Court said recently. We gave our authority to the executive to be imposing restrictions during the COVID era. I stated it on the floor here that it was wrong for Parliament to legislate and give its responsibility, hand it over silver platter to the executive. The Supreme Court has ruled, saying that was unconstitutional. Why? Why should we do that?
My dear, so watching News 360 now to some sad story now. And a police officer has been killed during an attack on a filling station at Ablekuma in Accra. The police have mounted a manhunt for the alleged robbers.
Residents of Famok Ablekuma are living in shock and in fear. And this is because a tragic incident happened here on Thursday, June 22, 2023, after a bullion van was attacked. Now, this is the story. According to eyewitness, the bullion van drove in here at the Star Oil filling station when two people allegedly came in and started shooting into the air.
Me Remo, that are not private man back swear there. Honestly, Remo, but I mean, I'm first queue. And I don't know then, second queue. Inte, get this serving me, no. Oh, mommy, change, you know. All of a sudden, na banker, no. Era inside. Into a run inside no. In the short period, within a short seconds, in 1 minute. And motorbikes. It's about 2. And I'm more started some of my one shoot. Bra. Master, me any trace say. In fact, send I didn't me who answer back who's where then. It's former funny say. Into to name me said to me boost it na me there. Me dark car no more.
A team from the police CID has been here for the past 3 hours, and you can clearly see that the entrance part of the Star Oil filling station has been barricaded through to the exit point of it. Now they are in there trying to, get their own investigations to know exactly what happened before proper investigations can begin.
In all of this, we know of a deadline by the Bank of Ghana to have all banks procure bullion vans. Let me walk you through the trajectory of when the first deadline was announced, as well as the police's statement. So according to the Ghana Police Service, it is on a manhunt for a gang of 4 robbers, and the policeman was shot during the attack and has been confirmed dead. The robbers, according to the Ghana Police Service, are being pursued. They will be arrested to face justice. Now, according to the timeline, the police announced the refusal to escort vehicles with cash without bullion vans and set the deadline for June 2021. Then the Bank of Ghana offered to provide its bullion vans for banks for deposits. The Bank of Ghana formally announced this decision for banks to have bullion vans in December 2020 with a deadline of July 1, 2023. Now, the deadline elapsed with banks not purchasing the vans, and the July 1, 2023 deadline is still in effect. Let's speak to Emmanuel Kotey. He is a security analyst. Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, should the police continue to sit in these pickups, especially at the risk of their lives?
Well, Portia, thanks for having me, and very good evening to your cherished listeners. In fact, it's a very tragic incident, and may I use the opportunity to wish the family and the larger police service my sincere condolences. In fact, it's a clear policy failure. And like you rightly mentioned, I don't think the police should endanger any of their personnel putting them in these vans, when in actual fact, they have been at law. But as a matter of fact, anybody who doesn't meet the requirements should be taken off the records of the Bank of Ghana. And let me also make this point here, Portia. You remember the 2020 general election? The issue of Okada in this country became a political matter. When the opposition party was against Okada and the ruling party spoke about modernizing Okada by bringing tricycles with air conditioners. So you realize that we have leaders who are very insincere, and honesty has become a very expensive enterprise. It's no longer a virtue. So it boils down to the fact that our leaders are treating us with with no respect, to say, because if you really value your people, you must treat them with the care they really deserve. How many times are we going to have this kind of casualties on our hands before we take action? So I think that we must regulate Okada in this country, and I dare propose that after 6 p.m., Okada should not be on our roads, because the security hazards they even provide and give motorists on the road is 18 minute motorists who agree with me. And if you go and look at the road and traffic regulation, it doesn't even allow the operation of Okada. So if it has become a political issue, let's regulate it. Because these robbers, obviously, they were able to escape because they came on motorbikes. So if we regulate the operations of Okada in this country, it's going to help us to really identify the groups that this Okada belongs to. Until we do that, citizens will tell you that in the evenings like this, you see this Okada snatching mobile phones and bags from innocent civilians and what have you. So it's a major policy issue government must look at. And as things stand now, it's a clear policy failure, and those responsible must be held accountable. Without accountability, we will continue to talk about this matter every now and then without.
Mr. Kotey, so with this particular incident, I was asking earlier that should they continue to sit in these pickups at the peril of their lives? What immediate steps must the Ghana Police Service take to prevent this from happening?
I think the police personnel should refuse lawful orders to sit in such bowling vans. And I think it will be a lawful action of disobeying such orders. And I mentioned that, and we should put the blame on the authorities in charge. The laws have been made clear, and deadlines were put in place. And these operators continue to violate this deadline in the name of politics, because I dare say that under what circumstances, Portia, can any serious country regulate a policy? And this policy was passed by Parliament, and implementation is an issue, if not politics. So that's why I'm saying that the personnel should disobey such orders to sit in bowling vans that does not meet the specification as spelled out in the order from Parliament, directing Bank of Ghana to make sure that these bowling vans have some security specifications to protect both those inside and the civilians.
All right, thank you so much for your time. And Emmanuel Kotey is a security analyst. You're still watching News 360 live from the News Hub here at Adesa Wakanda. We have business news coming up shortly. Do stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
The sweet scent of rose in the morning brings me so much joy. Inspired by damask rose and infused with 100% natural rose oil. Introducing new Clay Soft Perfume Beats Washing Powder. It's like bringing a garden with you everywhere with this wonderful perfume. Take a garden with you everywhere you go with Clay Soft Perfume Beats Washing Powder.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the business news segment here on News 360. Now, a senior finance lecturer at the University of Cape Coast Business School, Sairam Kawo, has renewed calls for value addition of the country's raw materials to boost the industrial sector's contribution to GDP. According to the latest GDP estimates by the Ghana Statistical Service, the services sector led the economy to expand by 4.2% for the first quarter of the year, with industry contracting by 3.2%. Speaking to 3 Business, Sairam Kawo urged government to focus on export diversification to improve the industrial sector's market offering.
As a country, we need to move from the export of raw materials to a situation where we add value to our product. Once we are adding value to the product, industries will grow. I don't know whether the Valco Aluminium Company is still operating. That is a strategic area for all of us to look at. We don't have to refining our oil or the fuel that we have in the country. And most of these things are done outside the country. And so we need drastic policies targeted towards the industry sector. And these policies will not just be policies that will be on paper, but the local industry players, the people in the industry, should be the ones that will be involved in driving this particular drive that we are looking for.
Elsewhere, fuel prices have remained relatively stable despite earlier projections by experts that prices could increase. My colleague Michael Obodu has been finding out what's accounting for the current developments on the market.
Industry watchers had hinted of a possible 5% hike in fuel prices this month due to the depreciation of the cedi against major currencies. However, major oil marketing companies like GOIL have maintained their prices, and others like Star Oil have even dropped their prices by about 30 pesos. Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana, COPEC, Duncan Amwa, has been explaining what accounted for this development.
Numbers we have that we compute together with what MPA even puts out on a daily was pointing to an increment. What has happened now is that you have a situation where one of the market leaders, GOIL, through some communication I had with them, indicated that the signals were strong for them to go up, but they would choose to stay on the side of the consumer by maintaining pump prices. It was welcoming, it's still welcoming. We are happy with the fact that though we could have paid more, they decided they are not going to go up. Now, as has been the norm, once GOIL decides a certain price, you find their key competitors equally abstaining from any upward adjustment. Whoever took these decisions, we are grateful to them.
Now, telecommunication company Airtel Tigo has officially changed its brand name to AT. The name change, according to the telco, is in line with its promise of simplicity to customers.
According to the telco, the change does not imply restructuring of the company and will only affect the name and logo.
Reasons we liked the words, the new name, is because it reduces any potential confusion. It doesn't stand for Airtel Tigo, but it is a good way of reminding our customers that it's the same company.
The company assures a seamless transition to AT while continuously providing quality and innovative products and services that customers love and trust.
This company now lives up to our brand promise and constantly strives for simplicity. The name AT perfectly encapsulates that simplicity, and we hope this will resonate strongly with all of our customers. You should expect more innovative products and services from us, with the added benefits of these continuous improvements, dedication to growth and simplicity. Now, call us AT. Life is simple. And this is where we're at.
Airtel Tigo Money will now be AT Money. Airtel Tigo Business, AT Business, and the same will apply to all their sub-brands.
Well, that's it for the very latest in the world of business. For more business stories, do well to log onto our website. It's www.3news.com.
New dawn to freedom! Yeah! Let's all rally together to kill mosquitoes, cockroaches, and flying insects for good! Yeah! Kill it!
Pepsodent is aware that globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. That's why by giving her Pepsodent, you're not only protecting her teeth, but also helping her grow up and thrive at every stage of her life with a healthy and confident smile, so she can succeed and achieve all of her dreams. Because every smile matters.
Water is life. Water gives life. Water moves through nature in a never-ending cycle. Observe the beauty of water as it flows all around us, refreshing and restoring. Gaze in wonder at the stillness and beauty of nature. There's harmony in nature everywhere around. Water revitalizes the body and keeps you going strong. Water is life. Water gives life. Drink Awake Purified Drinking Water. One for life. So relax and unwind, and in the calmness of nature, find the rest you desire. For every bottle of Awake you buy, an amount to be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA.
Sports segment is brought to you by
Gentleman Cosmetic Range.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360 with me, Oreku Ampofo. We do start off with Ghana football, where the 29th ordinary session of the Ghana Football Association Congress has been rescheduled to Monday, July 10 at the Great Hall at the Kumasi, that's the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Kumasi. The GFA Congress, which was earlier scheduled for Thursday, July 6th, will now be held on the new date, which was fixed by the Executive Council of the Ghana Football Association in the exercise of the powers under Article 31, Clause 2 of the GFA Statute 2019, which states that the Executive Council shall fix the date and the venue for a meeting of Congress. The members shall be notified in writing at least 10 days in advance. The Congress, which is expected to commission the new season, will contain the agenda, the activity report, the financial statements, and the auditor's report, and then any other relevant documents. To some more stories, where Ibrahim Tanko has confirmed that Ernest Nuama will join the Black Meteors camp ahead of the Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations hosted in Morocco. It's now time to get the latest from the squad ahead of Sunday's game against Congo.
The 19-year-old was expected to arrive late after spending the past week and a half with the Black Stars for the AFCON qualifier against Madagascar. Nuama had the opportunity of making his debut for the national team when he came on in the goalless draw against Madagascar. So far, 26 players have arrived in Morocco for the tournament, and Tanko expects Nuama to arrive soon.
Definitely, we have to give everyone a chance to show what he can do at the tournament. And as I said, and all of them show that if we give them a chance, they can help us at the tournament. So it's a very good thing for the team. Well, for now, I understand that we are going to have Ernest Nuama, but the rest cannot join us. And so we only have to concentrate on those who are here. And Ernest, we knew him already. He played with us the last game. So definitely, he's coming to join his colleagues. He will, will give us more quality on the pitch. So we are happy that he will join us.
The Nigerian forward was expected to join camp with Kamaldeen Sulemana, Kwajopoku Mahala and Ransford Yeboah Koningsdorfer, but the trio won't be making the trip.
In the first place, they are not with us when we play the qualifiers, so we wanted them because we think they have quality that they can support us, but since they are not here, I think we will concentrate with those who we play the qualifiers with. We are 100% sure that the quality is enough for this tournament. So let's hope that we will have this squad fit for the first game against Congo.
The Black Meteors were victorious in their final pre-tournament friendly against Zamalek and will face Congo on Sunday for their Under-23 AFCON opener.
Let's now switch our attention to the European transfer window, where teams have been active in the market in the past 24 hours. Here's the latest update.
Manchester City will rival Arsenal for the signature of West Ham United's Declan Rice. Arsenal has already had 2 prior offers rejected and is preparing a third bid, whilst Manchester City are expected to make a bid soon. Chelsea remain in talks with Villarreal over the signing of Nicholas Jackson. The Blues are prepared to pay the €35 million release clause, but are exploring a structured outlay. Villarreal wants the majority, if not all, paid upfront. Personal terms are not expected to be a problem. Chelsea is expected to formally approach Brighton over the signing of midfielder Moises Caicedo once a number of outgoing deals are finalized. Tottenham have verbally agreed an initial £17.2 million deal with Empoli to sign goalkeeper Guglielmo Vicario. Spurs are expected to submit a formal bid on Thursday, and Empoli has indicated it will be accepted. Guglielmo, a 26-year-old Italian, has made 71 appearances for Empoli since joining from Cagliari in 2021, initially on loan. Bournemouth are edging closer to completing a deal for Roma forward Justin Kluivert. The 24-year-old will sign a 5-year deal after AS Roma and the Cherries agreed a £9.5 million fee. Fenerbahce is set to sign Edin Dzeko from Inter Milan. The former Manchester City striker has travelled to Istanbul to undergo a medical and complete the transfer.
Well, the transfer news just keep on coming in, and we'll be doing our best to keep you updated on our bulletins. But if you also do want after-the-minute update, you can follow us on social media at 3SportsGH, especially on Twitter. My name is Emmanuel Kotey, and that's how we wrap up the sport here on News 360. Up next is entertainment.
What makes a gentleman? It's how the need to protect the things that matter pushes him to persevere. It's how he immerses himself in thoughtfulness. It's how trust is his shield. You can smell his integrity from a mile away. Introducing the Gentleman's Cosmetic Range. Be one of us. Be a gentleman. Ye are Brantier.
Many people think I get whatever I want because I'm a popular actress. But no, that is not true. Me Casano, Adebia me Biano, me Shishimpe Papano. And when I find it, I stick to it. My Shishimenya Bell Pack tissues. Bell Pack ewe tea roll. Bell Pack tea roll. Soft, but not weak. Strong, but not hard. It is smooth. Me Yusua, me hot tummy. It's just perfect. Same as the kitchen towel. What about what? What me the papaye? What me soaki? Echimu esa pepa. One Bell Pack kitchen towel lasts longer and saves you money. It's time you switch to Bell Pack today. Say your pocket tissue, table napkin, tea roll, and a kitchen towel. Bell Pack is simply the best. It's just perfect.
Nothing feels so good like Bell Pack.
Sorry for the interruption, but due to the acidic content of the atmospheric weather condition in the economy, I have decided metal afemuntin carbohydrate for watching metal 1 Ghana cedi for jollof rice, 1 cedi 20 pesos for gobe, 80 pesos for kenke tamai and the cow. 1 cedi, 50 pesos.
You know what? Just get me water.
For sachet water, 30 pesos. For bottled water, 50 pesos. Oh, Moka has a Vodafone cash. I'm the free. I'm free. Metal.
Transfer charges. Bida. Switch to Vodafone Cash today and enjoy 0 charges whenever you send money to all networks. Yes, sending money is free on Vodafone Cash. Only e-levy applies. Dial *110# to send money today. Vodafone.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water and powered by 3 Entertainment.
Hello and welcome to the Entertainment News segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu, and Ghanaian-American singer Amare has become the first Ghanaian to perform on NPR Tiny Desk. On June 9, 2023, the songstress released her second studio album, Fountain Baby, supported by 2 singles, Reckless, Sweet and Co-Star. As a testament to her rising fame, Amare has been invited to perform her new album, Fountain Baby, for the NPR Tiny Desk series. This prestigious opportunity showcases the widespread recognition of her talent and affirms her place among the music industry's elite. The video of her performance has been released on the YouTube platform and is already amassing an enviable amount of views and engagements.
Come to the crib, take your shoes off. Now you wanna act brand new. Why you wanna act brand new? Call me when the money come. Call me when the money come. To the money I'm.
And back here in Ghana, the audition train for this year's Ghana's Most Beautiful made its first stop in Tamale, where 20 ladies were chosen to represent the Northern, Northeast, Savannah and Upper East and Upper West regions. The team then moved to Kumasi and then to Takrady for the second and third phases. Accra will host the final lap of auditions tomorrow, Friday, June 23, at the forecourt of TV3 at 8 a.m. for the Southeastern Sector auditions. If you missed any of the other auditions, then this is your final chance to be part of this prestigious beauty pageant. Download the TV3 Reality app to register or pick up an audition form from the TV3 premises for 50 Ghana cedis. Come early and dressed in your GTP skirts and white tank tops with comfortable heels. And now to our final story this evening. The Global Citizen Power Our Planet concert will be held in Paris this evening. The star-studded lineup for the event includes Lenny Kravitz, Billie Eilish, John Baptiste, Ira Star, with special guest Phineas and Moziman. These global superstars will be joined by world leaders like Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, William Ruto, President of Kenya, Barbadian Prime Minister Mia Mottley, as well as AJ Banga, the President of the World Bank Rajiv Shah, President of the Rockefeller Foundation, and Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, the Director General of the World Health Organization. The event will provide a platform for calls to action from some of the world's leading youth climate activists, including Shea. TV3 has secured the rights to broadcast this event, and the 3-hour concert will air from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. But since it will coincide with the broadcast time of Ghana Tonight, today's edition will not be aired. And that'll be all for the Entertainment News segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu. Up next will be the International News segment. Have a good evening.
Well, that's it for News 360. For more news updates, do log on to our website at 3news.com. I am Portia Gabo.
And my name is Parkwisi Asari. For more news, log on to our website, www.3news.com.
This program is rated PG. It contains scenes of brief nudity, mild violence, and strong language. Parental guidance is advised.
This program is brought to you by
MTN Sense Body Spray.